Right, welcome back to Ball Talk. In this week's episode, I'm going to be breaking down some of the recent weekend's Premier League fixtures, including that top of the table clash between Liverpool and Man City. But before we get into all of that, if you do enjoy the content, please give the video a like and make sure you're subscribed. Okay, let's get straight into it. Liverpool versus City at Anfield. It's a 1-1 draw. Goals from John Stones and penalty, of course, from McAllister. It was a very, very entertaining game. It always is with these teams. It never disappoints, especially for the neutrals. It's always end to end. And I think it's just to do with the both team styles. They're high pressing, high energy, high quality. And it always makes a good watch for the neutral. I did think Liverpool were the better side, though. I thought Diaz had an excellent game. He had Walker on toast, to be honest. Walker looked a bit all over the place positionally. Didn't look the greatest. And, I mean, Diaz missed a couple of sitters as well, where he could have really got a couple of goals there. Liverpool had a lot of players missing. They had, who did they have missing? They had Jota, Trent, Alisson, Salah, of course, coming back, and Robertson weren't in the squad either. So, yeah, they got a lot of players missing, and they still look the better side, especially in the second half. I don't know what it is with Klopp, but he's so good at getting his team going in the second half after a team talk. He can really get his team up for it, rejuvenated at half time, and they come out raring to go. Does it a lot, very often. And City really for the second half, maybe the last half hour, they look like, obviously they dragged the ball, and they looked like they were going for the draw. If I'm honest, I think it's something to do with Pep. Sort of, I don't know. Klopp has Pep's number a bit when they play. They're so good at turning over any team, City, but when it comes to Pep v Klopp, it seems like Klopp knows something we all don't, and it seemed like the case again. Like Pep was just sort of happy to go for the draw. It looked like with his subs, and then of course we got to mention Liverpool should have had a pen in the last minute of the game. Doku's just puts like chest high, studs in the chest. And I don't know what the ref's seeing. Whether he had a bad view of it or not. But if he did, then he surely should be getting someone in his ear saying, just go have a look at this on the screen. You know, have a double check. We're not too sure. Why don't you have a look? That's all it needs. And then he goes have a look. He'll see, as everyone else can see, that it's a penalty, stone wall. Liverpool will go and score most likely. And then they're, 4 points clear at the top, which at this point in the season is vital, and that could be title deciding. But instead, there's only 1 point in it. They got the draw, and if I was a Liverpool fan, I would be fuming. Although last week they did get, in my opinion, away with it a bit with the decision going their way. But this weekend, I'd be a fuming Liverpool fan. But I've got to talk about City's goal, one and only goal, the set piece. Kevin De Bruyne on the cross. He's whipped it near post. John Stones has put it in. And it's very clever set piece, especially against a zonal marking team, which Liverpool are. They have their line quite high. They don't like it. They don't like sitting too deep on the keeper, so they have a high zonal marking. So they have someone in that front post space marking. But the thing is, with zonal, you don't track your runners. So if you're getting blocked out of that front post space, which they did, any runners coming into that, they're not going to get followed. That's the flaws with zonal marking. So City were very clever. They blocked someone out of that space. John Stones come running in. Of course, he's not going to get properly followed in there. So it looks like an easy goal. Like it's like Liverpool, what are you doing? But that's just the downside of having a zonal marking side. And the ref's never going to give a penalty for that little block. It just ain't. It's just clever play from City. I actually heard from John Stones in an interview that they actually wrote it up the day before. They were in training. They thought of it. They tried it 3-4 times, and it worked every time. So they've tried it in the game, and it's come off. So fair play to them. Okay, on to Arsenal Brentford. It was at the Emirates, 2-1 win to Arsenal. Kai Havertz with a late winner again. I think he's got 3 or 4 late winners this season. Vital goals for Arsenal to get them the win. And I think he's finally proven his £60 million price tag. He's proven he's worth for that. For me, he's worth it. He's just got better sort of every game he's played, really. I think he's growing in confidence. getting his goals up now. And to be honest, even without the goals against Brentford, I thought his hold-up play, bringing others into play, he was excellent at it. Off the ball, he does the defensive work that we need him to do. And he's very unselfish for the team. You know, you can tell he's a top character and just a top guy. And I actually love him. I love having him in that sort of false nine role. I think he does it excellently, and he even does well when he plays as the higher number 8. So great signing for Arsenal. Played great against Brentford, and I'm happy he got that goal. He deserved it. Of course, that win for Arsenal did put them on top of the table, and they did stay there, of course, after the draw between Liverpool and City. And I think what Arsenal are doing really well this year compared to last year is they're having their form in the second half of the season, like champions do, you know, like winners do. They're staying it for the first half, stay in the title race, and we're now coming into form where it matters. You know, the back end of the season, where last year was the opposite. We just started so good and we couldn't maintain it. We ran out of gas. So very exciting. Title race is going to be top this year. Can see it go down to the last day as well, which is very exciting for the neutrals and for the Arsenal fans. So yeah, looking forward to that. And of course, I've got to touch on Ramsdale's mistake he made. I mean, you can't help but feel sorry for him with that. Been out of the team the whole year. A lot of scrutiny with him at the start of the year with Raya and him. Is he the number one? Is he not? Getting dropped. Obviously, Raya couldn't play because he was playing against Brentford. Ramsdale steps in and he makes a mistake that leads to the goal directly. You know, he gets the ball from the left side. He sees that long pass in his head. He's got nothing else that's on his mind. Touch at his feet, and the striker just closes him down a bit quicker, which for me it's down to not playing games at that level, at that intensity. And you can't just step in and do it. I think if he plays a lot of games in the run up to that, he'll realise that he's getting pressure and he can just lay that off to the right. His right centre half, I think it was Saliba available there. But so you can't help but feel sorry for him. But what I will say, he showed great character. You can tell he's got a good head on his shoulders, as he made 2 or 3 excellent saves in the second half to make up for it, really. So fair play to him. One of them was the Tony's half volley from pretty much the halfway line. I mean, if that would have gone in, that would have been something special. Serious strike that was. But Ramsdale switched on, like, alert to it. You could tell he was trying to make up for his error, and he did, in my opinion. An interesting point with Ramsdale is, where will he go? I don't know what you guys think, but I don't think he'll drop down to a team in the bottom half of the table, and I don't think he should. I think he deserves to be in a team that's fighting for the Champions League with the quality he has. I hope he doesn't go down to that level anyway, because he's had a few years where he's been fighting relegation, and I think he's broke out of that now. You know, his form, the way he's been playing, the level he's been playing at, he deserves to get away from that now and get to a team that challenges for the Champions League, plays in the Champions League. He's good enough for that. Where he'll go, I don't know. There's only 2 teams I can really see that might want him and he can fit into. Chelsea, obviously, they're and ahhing with their 2 keepers. So Chelsea he could fit in, and Newcastle. Pope's injured. I don't think they're too happy with their keepers at the moment. So I can see Ramsdale fitting into them too quite nicely. Right, let's go on to Villa Spurs. It was at Villa. 4-0 win to Spurs away. It's a great result for them. And to be honest, I did not see this one coming. I mean, first half, Villa created some good chances, but they lacked that quality with their end product. Watkins weren't really at it. Missed a good couple chances. And then Spurs just hit him with a quick 1-2, and it sort of took the wind out of Villa's sails. I mean, Villa just aren't very good when they concede and they go behind. They've shown it all season where if they, like I just said, when they do concede, they just can't really cope with going behind like that. They seem to struggle. They just seem to struggle when they concede, and I don't know what that is. I don't know why. And it sort of went from bad to worse for Villa, because they've now got McGinn, who got a red card. In my opinion, deserved the red card. Sort of just see red and went in and clamped him, basically. And so they'll be without him for 3 games. He's an important player. They're playing on Thursday still. Tottenham aren't playing on Thursdays. They've got less games. I can see Tottenham grabbing that fourth spot, that Champions League spot ahead of them now, which is a shame because they were holding on, but it's written in the stars. I feel like Tottenham will get it. They probably deserve it with the way they've played this year. But again, Villa have played well as well, so it'll be a tight one, but I can see Tottenham just grabbing that. Right, 2 more games to go. I'm just going to touch on the United Everton game. Okay, so it's 2-0 to Man United against Everton at Old Trafford. In my opinion, so it's 2 penalties as well, which is, you don't see it too often, to be honest. You don't see it too often. 2 penalties, that's how they got both their goals. Bruno and Rashford both scored. I mean, they changed their penalties, which I always think feels a bit weird, changing your penalty taker mid-game when they're the first one still on the pitch. But you can look at it in the way that you want the person that's up for each pen to take it, the most up for it. And if Bruno wasn't maybe as up for it as Rashford was for the second one, maybe that's the reason why they gave it to him. I don't know. It just seems a bit weird to me. Science seems a bit weird with that. But for the actual penalties, I just feel it's sloppy and lazy defending from the 2 defenders. I think Godfrey was the second one. It just seems a bit like not really working your feet. And yeah, like I said, it's just the best way to describe it is just lazy defending. That's what it is. Lack of a bit of focus and intensity on just working your feet. I think the stats were very even with this game. Both had a lot of shots on target, both teams. I think Everton edged it with the corners, but again, it was quite an even game on the stats. But I do feel like United did deserve it. They deserved the win. They had the better performers in the game. Garnacho performed well again. He seems like he's growing in a United shirt now. Every game, he seems to be getting a bit more confident. Similar to Havertz at Arsenal, actually, he's just starting to grow and establish his place in that team, his role. And I feel like when you're a winger of that age, once the players rely on you a bit more, you can grow in stature, you get a bit more responsibility, and then just going to breed more confidence and better results. A bit of worrying signs for Everton, though. Obviously, they're very close to that relegation now. I think Luton have a game in hand on them. They've obviously got a draw, and that will put them level on points, but they'll be ahead on goal difference. So it's very, very tight. They've not got a game for a few weeks. I believe they're going away for some warm weather training. Should help. I know it helped Arsenal a lot. Bit of team bonding, bit of sun, vitamin D, all adds up. So maybe they can come back from that and get a little run going. As I just mentioned, Luton did nick a point away at Palace this weekend, just gone. I watched the highlights of this game. I feel like Palace dominated, to be honest. Absolutely dominated to them. Luton done well to even be in it at half time, to be honest. And I mean, Eze had a great. He tried the Becks. He had a great strike from pretty much the halfway line over the keeper, kept it low, great technique, and just sort of skimmed the crossbar. But him and Elise, Palace need to keep them 2 fit and keep them in a Palace shirt for next season because they'll be massive, massive help. They were so good, Palace against Luton, to be fair. Great chances created. But Luton, again, done typical Luton stuff. They showed their fight, their character to stay in it. And it's normally the other way. They're normally the ones who get the unlucky goal conceded in the last minute. But this time, you get your time, and this was theirs. 90-minute plus equaliser. And this is it. Swings and roundabouts. Sometimes it will go against them. This time it's gone for them. They got the point. And yeah, do you know what? I'm actually happy for them because they do deserve to have a bit of luck go their way. So, and they deserve a bit of reward for the amount of fight and character they show in all these games. So yeah, buzzing for them. And like I said, that puts Luton 18th on 21 points. I think Forest are now 17th with 24 points. So, but Luton have a game in hand. So Luton win their game in hand. They go out of the relegation zone, and Forest will drop into it. So, and Everton, they'll be on joint points with Everton. So it's all very tight at the bottom. Very exciting. I think Luton will do it. I think they'll do it, and I think it'll be Forest or Everton that go down. I feel like they've got the right attitude in the camp. They've got the right spirits in the team, and it's trending one way, in my opinion. Their performances, like I said, as soon as they start getting them results, they'll be clear of the relegation zone, I think. Yes, guys, thanks for watching this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, could you please follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel? It massively helps us out.